Hey, what's up, friends? It's Moses here. I hope you are doing well. It's 2021. I haven't spoken to you guys since the beginning of the year. So let me take this time to say Happy New Year. I know last year was really a challenging year for many people. And the fact that you are listening to me right now is an indication that God has been good to you. For those that have lost loved ones, I just want to pray that God will give you the grace to go through this time. I know how challenging it may be for you, but we thank God that we are still alive. I know, other than the people that have lost loved ones, there are also people that have had challenges when it comes to jobs. They've lost their jobs. Some people are even losing their houses or apartments or whatever it is. Like they're either moving in with other loved ones, with family members, or some of them are really in a very challenging place just because they've lost their jobs. And so I was thinking about it, and I said I need to make a video to encourage and remind those of you that are in that situation. I have made some videos in the past where I talk about why you may want to consider trucking and the challenges of trucking and the advantages of trucking as a career. So I'm just going to kind of touch on those points, but really the whole point that I'm trying to make is for those that find themselves in a situation where they have lost their jobs and they're wondering what to do. I just want to encourage you, if possible, to look into trucking. One of the blessings that we had as truck drivers is as people were, maybe closing down because they couldn't, their places of business couldn't keep on working. As truck drivers, we are part of those people that are considered as essential workers. So we were able to work throughout the pandemic, and we still have our jobs. But again, as I said, there are people that lost jobs, and those are the people really that I'm talking to right now, or that I want to encourage right now. One of the things about trucking is it has its challenges, but it also has its advantages. And as I have mentioned before, one of the good things about trucking, you can make it a career, or you can make it something that you can always fall back to. So my encouragement to you is that if you are in that situation, even if you think that maybe you will want to go back to your career when things get back to normal, you can right now set yourself up in a way that you can get your Class A license and have it by you when get some money, drive. When things get back up, you can always go back to your career, but then keep your license. I shared with you guys where one time in 2008, I left trucking for about 1.5 years. And the reason why I left trucking was because we were starting a business. I was helping in a startup business. Things didn't work out because the timing was really off. We started in 2008. Actually, it was, I think, November, around October, November of 2008 is when we opened the business, and yet the economy was just starting to really go down. So we just couldn't keep up the business. So 2010, we closed down, and I had to come back to trucking. But the advantage was that I had kept my license, and even my medicals. My medicals were expiring. I just went, I paid about, I don't remember, maybe like 40 or 60 bucks, and I did my physical. That way it helped me keep my medical card current. So when we closed down the business, even after not driving for 1.5 years, all I did was just go online. Actually, I had left JB Hunt. I was working with JB Hunt when I left to go open up the business. And when things didn't work out, I just filled out again with JB Hunt, and right there and then they scheduled me for orientation. Now I didn't end up going with them because I found another company. I was scheduled for orientation to go on Monday, and then I saw another company that was smaller and locally. So I said, oh, you know what? Let me give them let me check out their opportunity, and I ended up going with them, and I was with them for about 7 years before I moved here to Texas. That's when I was in California. But the whole point I'm saying is that I was able to get back into trucking without anything. So my encouragement to you is right now, if you find yourself in a situation where you don't have a job, you don't know what to do, look into trucking. Even if you are somebody that still likes your career, you can always go back to that career. But right now, try and see if you can get into trucking. And here is why. The reason why trucking is kind of, the advantages is some of the careers, getting into those careers requires you to go into school for long periods of time, and you also have to pay a lot of money to get into those careers. So that tuition and the length of the career can be really long. So it can take you like months or years actually. But with trucking, it's gonna take you like, for you to get in and start driving by yourself, you know, like you are done with the training, it's gonna take you about 2 to 3 months, right? And you will be able to drive on your own and be able to make your own money where you're not like in training. Because when you're in training, you don't make so much money because you are in training. The other thing is, so we are talking about a short period of, you know, like training for you to get into the career. 3 months, let's say. The other thing is, it's not as expensive. Some of the careers out there, you are gonna spend tens of thousands to get into the career, but this one, I would say, on average, $4,000 to $5,000 will get you into driving a truck. There are companies that will charge you more, but I would say, really, you should be able to find a company that will get you into trucking at about $4,000 to $5,000. Even if you don't have the money, what you want to do is to look for trucking companies that have trucking schools. What they do is they hire you on, you go through their school and their training, and you work for them as you pay that money back. Or some of them, now you can read the contracts. Some of them will say, oh, work for us, maybe like drive for us for a year. And then when you are with us for a year, that money will be paid off. But again, you'll be making like weekly payments. And then some of them will say at the end of, if you stay with them for that year or for 2 years, then they will give you back that money. Some of them will say that you can leave them, but you have to keep paying that money until that money is paid off, which it's a loan. It's not like you are studying for nothing. But again, it's going to cost you around $4,000 to $5,000. My encouragement is, when you're looking for a trucking company or trucking school, don't fall for schools that are going to cost you a lot, because there are some of them that are going to really charge you high. But I would say on average, it should be less than $5,000 for you to get into trucking. So that's it. The other thing I would say is, now, again, there are some of you that maybe are losing even homes, or some of you that are single, where you the other advantage again that can come with trucking is that if you are maybe like you find yourself in a situation where you are losing your home, you can get into trucking and stay in the truck and just be over the road staying in a truck, because the trucks have beds where you can sleep. Now, of course, that is going to apply for somebody who doesn't have a family. Or if you find yourself in a really, really bad situation, again, maybe your family can live with a relative as you get back on to your feet. But those are some of the advantages that are in trucking. The other thing is, when you get out, you are going to start, I would say, think of like the 40,000, low 40s to around low 40s to mid 40s. is the average you could think of earning when you get out and you are driving by your own, which, in my opinion, for the amount of time you spend in school and the amount of money you pay to get into trucking, the low 40s to mid 40s range is not really bad for you to have as an income for that amount of money you paid getting in, and for the what, for the amount of time, because there are other careers out there that where you'll spend a lot of time in school, you will also spend a lot of money, get out, and you earn the same amount of money just like you would in trucking. Now, of course, I do know that there are challenges to trucking. If you have a family, it's gonna be a challenging time. But again, remember, I'm talking to those of you that are finding yourselves in a situation where you don't have a job right now and things are getting worse and worse. So it will be a challenging time, but it will be a time to help you get back on your feet. So you will have to leave your family. You may have to leave your family to go out on the road. But again, that is going to be for maybe the first 6 months, and then you can always find something to do locally. There are even opportunities where you may not even have to go over the road, where you can be able to do local work. There are companies out there that will hire you, train you, and you will stay local. But it's going to depend on your location, if those companies, those specific companies are in your location. But it's also possible for you to get into trucking, find a company, they train you, and you stay locally. That's generally, like I'm talking just in a in general terms, just to those people that are finding themselves in a situation where they need to get back on their feet. Because again, as I said, I know last year was really a challenging year, and I feel for those of you that find themselves in that situation. So I just wanted to make this video real quick and just kind of encourage you. Give it a try, look into it. If you have any questions and you want some more insights or guidance, or you have some questions, send me an email, moses@driversuccess.com. I will do my best to try and answer those questions and see how you can get back your life. If after you are driving, you realize, by the way, I've spoken to people who say, oh, they entered into trucking just trying it out, and then the next thing they know is they loved it and they ended up staying. But if you don't like it, again, when your career comes back up, things get back up, you can always go back. But my encouragement to you is keep your license good, keep in good shape health wise, keep a clean record, and keep your physicals. And then anytime something comes up, you can always go back to trucking. Trucking is always looking for truck drivers. So that is my encouragement to you. Again, as I said, you can reach out to me, moses@driversuccess.com. If you're out there, you just got into trucking, you have at least 3 months driving experience, and you're like, oh, I want to come and join JB Hunt, send me an email, moses@driversuccess.com, with your information. I will have Susan call you, or you can just call her directly and let her know that Moses referred you, and then she will see what positions are in your area, and she will hook you up. All you need is 3 months driving experience. By the way, when I talk about 3 months driving experience, even if that driving part of it is in training, they may also consider it. So don't be afraid to give it a try. Then I will make a video. I know somebody was asking me, I think somebody came with us, they've been with us for 90 days. How do they change to a different division? I'm going to be making a video, probably the next video I'll make. I'll let you know. I'll see if I can make a video to show you how to do that. Because you can start out in, you can come, start out in one division, maybe like a regional position, right? And then if you are with us for at least 90 days, then you have that opportunity to change to local or to a dedicated account or to any position. If you find any position you want, they will consider you before they even consider anybody out. So you can always transfer within the company to that particular position that you want. Somebody was asking me how to do it. I'm gonna try and see and make another video. Probably maybe the next video I make will be showing you how to do that. So all right guys, until next time, stay blessed and stay safe. Bye bye.